Hello and welcome to the Kopala TV main news. We get straight into our headlines for today. Zambia records 2 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Britain sets aside £330 billion support package toward coronavirus crisis. Luangwa Bridge in Kitwe temporarily closed. And Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress PEP counsels government. Join us in a bit after this. To present the Kopala TV main news, my name is Wabwila Musongole. Zambia has recorded 2 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, otherwise known as COVID-19. Health Minister Chitalu Chilufya says the patients are a couple that traveled to France with their 2 children for 10 days. Dr. Chilufya says a surveillance system was able to detect that the couple has transited through high-risk COVID-19 countries. He announced this at a media briefing in Lusaka. He said the couple has since been isolated and is receiving treatment in Chilanga. The health minister has asked members of the public not to panic over the reported outbreak of the deadly coronavirus.
His Excellency, the Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa to inform the nation that Zambia has confirmed its first 2 cases of COVID-19 virus. The patients are a Zambian couple that traveled to France on a 10-day holiday with their 2 children. They came back and they passed through our international airport, and because of our alert surveillance system, the travel history did pick that they passed through a country where COVID-19 cases were on the rise. For this reason, both the father, the mother, and their 2 children were placed under self-quarantine. 24 hours later, our alert surveillance officers made a follow-up to the couple, and they found them observing the self-quarantine rules, and they did find out that one of the members of the family did develop a fever and a flu. They conducted tests, and the tests results were released this morning, and the 2, the mother, the father, have laboratory confirmed COVID-19.
The Reformed Church in Zambia, RCZ, has instructed all congregations, schools, universities and colleges to adhere to measures put up by the government in fighting the coronavirus. RCZ General Secretary William Zulu says Sunday worship services will continue but should be held within prescribed hours. Dr. Zulu is urging members of the public to observe strict hygiene. He said this in a press statement made available to Kopala TV. Still on the coronavirus, Britain's Chancellor has announced a £330 billion support package to help businesses through the coronavirus crisis. Rishi Sunak says the country is facing an economic emergency and now is the time to be bold. He vowed that the UK government would do whatever it takes to support the economy, with many businesses already suffering the effects of this week's coronavirus restrictions. We monitored the BBC for this report.
Everything seems different now. You can be on your own in the busiest parts of our biggest city. But quiet doesn't mask the worry. Millions are concerned about their health and loved ones too. But instead of shutdown, behind closed doors, the centre of government is in overdrive. They're grappling with the biggest job in generations, to save lives first, but to protect how we make a living too.
We must act like any wartime government and do whatever it takes to support our economy.
You can't blame the new Chancellor for looking serious. Just 33 days into his job, here he is announcing a bailout of historic proportion.
This national effort will be underpinned by government interventions in the economy on a scale unimaginable only a few weeks ago. This is not a time for ideology and orthodoxy. Today, I am making available an initial £330 billion of guarantees, equivalent to 15% of our GDP. That means any business who needs access to cash to pay their rent, their salaries, suppliers, or purchase stock will be able to access a government-backed loan or credit on attractive terms.
Hundreds of billions of government-backed loans, 20 billion in grants and tax cuts at the start. Help with some bills too.
For those in difficulty due to coronavirus, mortgage lenders will now offer a 3-month mortgage holiday so that people will not have to pay a penny towards their mortgage costs while they get back on their feet.
Can you guarantee to firms who need to pay wages now and families who worry about paying the rent now that they will not lose out while you work through the details of what comes next?
Be in no doubt, the state is asking people to do something to make very considerable changes to their lives, and it is only right, therefore, that the state should stand behind people as they make those changes.
Business, big and small, might not have the luxury of time. The office of this Brighton travel company is already practically empty.
I don't think Boris Johnson realises that people are losing their jobs right now. We've had to put staff on unpaid sabbatical with no certainty of what's going to happen over the next few months.
Are you doing enough to stop the virus?
Ministers have been scrambling to find a response big and fast enough. It might sound astonishing, but even more than £300 billion might be just the start. The support plan's huge, but there could still be holes.
What support will individual families get? Will they get sick pay at a level that they'll be able to ensure they have a decent quality of life? Will they get proper support if they're laid off? Will they be able to afford their rents? Will the increases in fuel costs and other things be covered?
But the scale of this, the reality of how many lives may be lost, is hitting home.
Every year in seasonal flu, the number of deaths is thought to be about 8,000 excess deaths. So if we can get this down to numbers 20,000 and below, that's a good outcome in terms of where we would hope to get to with this outbreak. But I mean, it's still horrible.
By the government's own admission, this is now an economic emergency. So they've just promised to take vast steps to try to stop that turning into individual hardship for millions in the coming months, taking on long-term costs for the country to try to stop a heavy and painful cost being paid by families in the coming months.
The coronavirus pandemic is exposing the cracks in the United States healthcare system. In a country where paid sick leave is the exception, self-isolation means economic hardship. And the cost of treatment leaves many reluctant to get tested. This is all contributing to the spread of the virus and intensified the debate around free healthcare. Al Jazeera has the rest of the details.
Washington's usually bustling 18th Street is eerily quiet. Many of the restaurants here have shut down. Others are offering only takeout service. The reality behind these closed spaces is the loss of hundreds of jobs. Restaurant workers are effectively being laid off, as few of the businesses offer either paid or sick leave. Gregory Allen has worked in the restaurant business for 13 years. He shows a worker's manual typical of the industry, which makes no mention whatsoever of paid sick leave. He cannot afford private insurance and says he would not seek healthcare even if he tested positive for the virus.
Absolutely not. Like, that's crazy. You know, it's I heard that the first person that got tested, or not the first person, one of the people that got tested for coronavirus has a $3,000 bill, and I can't afford that. Healthcare should be free.
The potential cost to the individual is prohibitive. The government says it will cover the cost of testing for the virus, but then there are three other elements. Firstly, the patient needs to go to a doctor. That will cost $200 to $600. Then there's the issue of CAT scans or X-rays. That will run the cost up to something like $1,000. But this is only the beginning of the expense. These turn out to be merely initial costs.
And then if you need to go into the hospital, you're going to end up probably spending anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. And if you don't have health insurance, you're unlikely to do any of the three. Spend the $200, spend the $500, and certainly spend the $50,000 to $100,000. And so people are going to try to self-medicate, and that is going to be a serious problem for all of us.
The issue of free healthcare has been one of the central issues in this election year, but Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders is the only presidential contender who advocates this with no reservation. Some believe the nation's experience of this pandemic could impact on future decisions by Congress.
So I think we will, in fact, see some kind of change as we realize that it's how important it is for each American to have access to care in a crisis. Now, whether or not we can translate that into a non-crisis situation, I can't answer.
The argument about free health care is likely to continue long after these restaurants once again open their doors. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
In case you have just tuned in, you are watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us in a bit after our commercial break. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back. The Luangwa southbound bridge along the Kitwe and Dola dual carriageway has been closed owing to the increased water levels in the Kitwe River. Motorists are currently using one lane on the dual carriageway. Blessings Malama has the rest of the details.
The Ministry of Housing and Infrastructure Development announced the closure of the Luangwa southbound bridge on the Kitwe River on Monday. The temporal closure comes as a result of the heavy rains that have been experienced in some parts of the country, resulting in increased water levels in major water bodies. An inspection carried out on the bridge found motorists using a single lane on the dual carriageway as the bridge has temporarily been closed. Meanwhile, Kitwe Mayor Christopher Kangombe says there is a need to open an alternative route for motorists using the Kitwe-Ndola dual carriageway.
Well, there's an alternative route that we need to establish urgently because it is very clear. The DMMU coordinator last week did share an official report showing that the levels of water will keep rising. That is the official report that has been prepared by the technocrats responsible for monitoring the patterns of rainfall, that the rains will continue rising, the water levels will keep rising. So we saw the official communication through the minister in charge of infrastructure, but unfortunately at the moment we do not have any alternative route to use. If you go there right now, vehicles are passing, and I think from here we can just quickly pass so that we could have the correct information in terms of the water levels, because that's the only official route to use. There's an alternative, however. You go through the farm block and then come out through Mufuchani Bridge. Now it's a long route. Yes. If you are carrying passengers and you need to take them back, you are going for a church program, you need the easiest route. So it's a challenge which I think we need to quickly address. But I think from a local government point of view, we are mindful that these rainfall patterns are with us. It's reality. We can't change reality. We can only appeal to people that have built 50 meters away from a riverbank.
The bridge is planned for critical repairs and awaits funding for rehabilitation works to commence. Blessings Malama, Kopala TV, reporting.
Kitwe Mayor Christopher Kangombe is saddened with the increased level of unplanned developments happening in the city. Mr. Kangombe says the level of arrogance in citizens that are building structures on land without council permission is extremely worrying. He said this when he toured the houses that collapsed due to floods that were experienced in some parts of the district. Details are in the following report.
Kitwe and other parts of the Copper Belt have experienced heavy rainfall in the past 2 weeks. The heavy downpour has left many structures and houses flooded, whilst others have collapsed. The floods, which have left a trail of destruction, have devastated many affected residents. Kitwe Mayor Christopher Kangombe has toured some of the affected areas in Kitwe. Mr. Kangombe is saddened with the number of houses that have been built without approval from the council authority.
So we obviously sympathize with our residents. However, we are also concerned from a planning point of view. The local authority is a planning authority. It plans where people should stay and where people should build. Some of the people that are affected are those that have built without permission from the local authority. And I've just been briefed by my colleagues that some of these houses you are seeing, they actually were served with enforcement notices way before they could start building. But as you are aware, people are looking for land where they could build. There's a bit of arrogance on the part of our people. So I want to appeal once again to our residents that our intention as a local authority during this period is to establish how many people are affected by this flooding. No one planned that there will be this flooding. Once we establish the numbers, I am confident through the planning authority that we are going to find appropriate land where they could build.
Families whose houses have collapsed have since been urged to engage the council for proper planning. Reporting for Kopala TV, I am Blessings Mama Imoseni, Kitwe.
You are still watching the Kopala TV main news. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back once again. The opposition Patriots for Economic Progress (PEP) has spoken out on the standoff between Information Minister Dora Siliya and Prime Television. PEP President Sean Tembo says it is unfair for government to ban Prime TV from covering all government events over a simple misunderstanding. Prime TV has been banned from covering government assignments because the television station allegedly rejected government's request for free advertisement on the outbreak of the coronavirus.
As Patriots for Economic Progress, we are very, very disappointed with the statement that was issued yesterday by the Minister for Information and Broadcasting Services, Ms. Dora Siliya, regarding Prime TV, where she indicated that her government had decided to cut all ties with Prime TV simply because Prime TV is alleged to have rejected a request for donation in the form of free advertisements on its station. It must be noted that a private company does not have any obligation to donate anything free of charge to the government. The only obligation that a private company has is to pay its taxes and meet statutory obligations and not to make a donation. And when you look at what other governments are doing across the world, they are actually giving stimulus packages to private companies to help them stay afloat during this period of a global recession. So it is very irresponsible for the PF government to be going around companies and demanding for donations, even from companies that don't have a financial capacity to make such donations. In fact, the conduct of Dora Siliya constitutes blackmail and is, for all intents and purposes, a criminal offense.
UPND President Hakainde Hichilema has accused the PF of trying to incite his lawmakers with money and cars so that they vote for the contentious Bill number 10 in Parliament. Mr. Hichilema says Bill number 10 is not going anywhere, saying Zambians have vehemently rejected the bill. The UPND leader said this at a media briefing in Lusaka.
It was so embarrassing that they can be talking about UPND this, UPND that, UPND, we asked them to do this, no Siyabonga this. There was no message in their debate yesterday. They should have accepted that they failed to achieve 2/3 majority required to allow the second reading to proceed beyond yesterday. Let us stop wasting people's time. Since they didn't close the debate yesterday, hoping that this night they could buy someone or some MPs, and they failed. But they still thought tonight or last night they were going to do that. They will still fail this afternoon.
Yeah.
Therefore,
this
Bill 10 debate and time wasting must end this afternoon. Today afternoon.
And finally, in sports news, the Lusaka Magistrate Court has issued contempt proceedings against FAR's President Andrew Kamanga and 5 others for disregarding a High Court order. Last week, the Ndola High Court issued an injunction, but FARS proceeded to hold the electoral process despite the order. The contempt proceedings comes up before Magistrate El Mwale of the Lusaka Magistrate Court on the 20th of March 2020. That item wraps up the Kopala TV main news for today, but before we go, we take a look at the stories that made headlines. Zambia records 2 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Britain sets aside £330 billion support package towards coronavirus crisis. Luangwa Bridge in Kitwe temporarily closed. And Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress PEP counsels government. Thank you for watching the Kopala TV main news. My name is Wawila Musongole. Pleasant viewing.